What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Past time for Republicans to start auditing how all Pentagon dollars are spent, not just those sent without any oversight to Ukraine, tens of billions of dollars. We just got our hands on shocking materials being offered within the Department of Defense education activity schools around the bases and so forth. It's a system educating 66,000 kindergartners through 12th graders connected to the military families. A book titled Beyond Magenta, Transgender Teens Speak Out details oral sex performed by an 8-year-old. That's available to middle schoolers. And then there's Middle School's a Drag. You Better Work, W-E-R-K, is another book available to middle schoolers. It tells the story of a 12-year-old boy who starts a business for the management of child drag queen shows. And also available to high schoolers is a book titled This Book is Gay, which provides instructions on how to find and participate in orgies at saunas or bathhouses. Joining me now is the House Armed Services Committee member who obtained these materials, decorated combat vet Mark Green. Congressman, you plan on sending a letter tomorrow. This is, I mean, Republicans just wanting to write a blank check to this Pentagon, like we're still in the greatest generation here with, with World War II movies playing in the background. This is not the military of yesterday.
No. There's been a huge increase, Laura, in just 2 years of this pornographic material in the libraries and in the curriculum of our Dodd school system, detailing how to actually commit sexual assault. Now, these are the men and women who are trained to protect us. There are, and we're teaching their children how to hurt other people. I mean, it's absurd. It's insane. It's tragic.
Well, what can Republicans, now that you guys are going to take control of the House, we had Mitch McConnell, looks like maybe they're backing up, trying to push an omnibus, which would fund the military for the next 10 months. Then you have the additional appropriations for the National Authorization Defense Fund. Well, what can you do to stop this crap, from being funded?
Yeah, my preference is a CR, a short CR that puts us in charge.
Continuing resolution, which gives you guys leverage.
That's exactly right. So we can start with a new budget, get that done. But we have to put in the National Defense Authorization Act that the Dodd schools can't do this.
DOD school, make it
right, the DOD schools. And we can actually tell them to stop doing that, just like we're telling them now to end the vaccine mandate. So that's in this NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act. And so we can just write it into the law.
Now, as Democrats on the Hill are signaling they're willing to make concessions on the vax mandate, it seems a little like kabuki theater to me, in the NDAA, the White House is digging in. So watch this.
Republicans in Congress have decided that they'd rather fight against the health and well-being of our troops than protecting them. And we believe that it is a mistake. Making sure our troops are prepared and ready for service is a priority for President Biden. The vaccination requirement for COVID does just that.
She really just needs to hand out the briefing book to all the people in the room and just dispense with the briefing. So what about that? I mean, they're holding firm, or is that kind of just a negotiating ploy?
I think it's a negotiating ploy. Yeah. We were assured that the vaccine mandate is going to be gone. So that's the word we've gotten, and I believe Kevin has negotiated that. So.
All right, Congressman, thank you, and I look forward to hearing your response from them to your letter tomorrow.
Thanks, Laura.
All right, it isn't just the Pentagon, though, that's getting more scrutiny from conservatives, but corporate America, of course, as well. Now, a few years back, the grocery chain Kroger's fired 2 former Christian employees in Arkansas after they refused to wear logos representing the rainbow gay pride flag. Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton didn't forget about that when Kroger's CEO came in front of the Judiciary Committee begging Republicans to just instantaneously support their latest merger.
They expect Republicans, who are traditionally more supportive of free enterprise, to come to their defense. And I've cautioned them for years that if they silence conservatives and center-right voters across the country, if they discriminate against them in their company, they probably shouldn't come and ask Republican senators to carry the water for them whenever our Democratic friends want to regulate them or block their mergers. I'm sorry that's happening to you. Best of luck.
Joining us now is Senator Tom Cotton. Senator, this is a lot bigger than just about one merger and one grocery chain, is it not? I mean, the trans agenda and the corporate, woke agenda is infiltrating every aspect of corporate life through ESG and other liberal initiatives.
Yeah, Laura, very much so. A lot of these large publicly traded corporations have, in effect, become an arm of the Democratic Party. In this case, you had Kroger that didn't just discriminate against 2 Bible-believing Christians in Arkansas, firing them for refusing to wear what they perceived as a gay pride symbol, and being sued by the Trump Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and settling it. You also had them forcing their employees to go through things like critical race theory training or gender ideology-based training. You've seen this in Georgia, where Brian Kemp stood up to Delta and Coca-Cola for falsely defaming the law that they passed last year that made it easier to vote but harder to cheat, as we just saw in the big turnout. Ron DeSantis standing up to Disney World. Corporations for a long time have come to Republican politicians and expected us to stand up for them, since we're traditionally more friendly towards the free enterprise system, to say the least, than Democrats. But when they do things like silence our voters the way big tech does, or in this case at Kroger, discriminate against our voters, they need to think twice, because I certainly am not going to do it. And I've been warning them for years privately, and I just finally said it publicly, that when you come here and you expect us to defend you after you attack our voters, my position is going to be, I'm so sorry that's happening to you. I wish you all the best.
Well, I think it's not even an open question at all that big business is now aligned almost 100% with Democrats on every single social issue. I mean, almost every single one. It's certainly on climate change. But Senator, I also want to get into what's happening with this TikTok issue, because a number of states across the country are going after TikTok on security grounds. You got Indiana's AG just sued them for exposing minors to sexual content. But the White House is apparently considering agreeing to some type of concessions, national security concessions, supposedly made by the parent company. Watch.
Maryland and South Dakota became the latest two states to ban TikTok on state devices. Is the federal government, is the president considering doing something here?
So I'm not going to comment on TikTok while a CFIUS, the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States, review is ongoing. The Biden administration is focused on challenge of certain countries, including China.
Yeah, well, TikTok told Fox Business that they're confident that they're on a path to fully satisfy all reasonable, underline reasonable, U.S. national security concerns. Senator, why should TikTok be present in the United States at all, in any way, shape, or form, given what we know about ByteDance and the CCP?
Shouldn't be present in the United States, Laura. There's a lot of things that you just point out there that are bad about TikTok. The way they expose minors to violent, depraved, degrading sexual material, or young girls to videos about body image issues, stuff that they would never let Chinese teenagers see, or the risk to your data security and your privacy. But if you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, why in the world would we allow a Chinese-owned company, which has to answer to the Chinese communists, to be one of the largest media platforms in our country? Would we ever have allowed Soviet Russia to own a major newspaper or a major broadcast network during the Cold War? Of course we wouldn't have. And it's very disappointing that the Biden administration is sending signals that they might tolerate TikTok's presence here in the United States, despite the grave threat it poses to all Americans.
Senator, are you confident that Mitch McConnell's going to beg off of this omnibus spending bill?
It sounds like that's the direction we're going. I mean, he's made the point publicly that the Democrats have spent hundreds of billions of dollars on their domestic priorities over the last 2 years. It would be a folly for Republicans to agree to spend even more on those Democratic domestic priorities, just as the ransom to get the money that our troops need. If the Democrats continue to insist on that, I see a short-term spending bill into the new year when the new House Republican majority can provide us some fire support over in the Senate, and we can get a better deal for what the American people voted for.
Senator, thank you.
What we do here is go back. What we do here is go back, 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 back.